Hi everyone, this is Dr. Marilyn Tournay, and as I promised, I am making a navigation video, so hopefully this could help you guys navigate the course shell so you don't have any questions. Now, this video is specifically for CHEM 232, but it can apply to any class that I have online because I make the course shells exactly the same. So everything is exactly in the same place for your class. Even the syllabus are very similar. So I am going to try to go through a lot of things, but I'm going to try to not make this video too long, but I am going to share my screen. And if there's anything that you don't understand or need more detail on, just email me, okay? And I will post this video on your Blackboard course shell. I'm going to show you where it's going to be. And you can also find it on my YouTube channel. So if you want to start subscribing to that, so you can get any new videos that I do will just come, you'll get a notification. So that'll be cool. But anyway, let me go ahead and share my screen and then we could start. Okay, so I'm really hoping that you guys can see my screen, but let's go to this screen because this is what you would go to when you first see it. Obviously, I have a lot of classes, but I'm going to go to 232 for the summer, and this is what you would see when you come when you first log on. And this page that you're looking at is the introduction page, which is this tab right here on the left. And this is where I want you to read first, right? So just kind of take time and read everything here. There's a couple of steps. I did 7 steps. So it's just kind of like a start, right? This is where you would start. Make sure that everything works on your browser. The most important thing on this page is the laboratory requirement statement. I sort of talked about that in my in the syllabus if you read it, but if you haven't, and in the introduction video, but if you haven't taken the lab, you've got to do that. You've got to fill that out, and you can find it by clicking on here, or you can go to the other tab, the course overview tab, but we're going to go there. But anyway, that's the second thing you got to do. Then I welcome you. I give you my introduction video. I want you guys to introduce yourselves in the discussion boards. So you can just go ahead and click on this link right here and it'll automatically take you, or you can go yourself manually by going to finding the tab, which if you see on the left is right over here. But then step 5, if you have any questions, you can go to that discussion board. And course navigation, and step 7, which I think is really important, is your academic calendar, which tells you all the important dates. So you make sure that you're on top of it. Okay, so what I want you to do is go through and click on all of these tabs before the class, as soon as you can, as soon as the class starts, so that you can kind of get a feel for how this class is organized. But the second tab, the course overview and materials tab, this is where right here, this navigation, there's nothing there right now, but as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to post it here. So this is where I will show you while I'll post this video. The course objectives, prerequisites, you got to know certain things when you take an online course. You got to be able to use a computer and download and all that stuff. So that's what that says. And then just information, which all of this information is in your syllabus. This is important, your Zoom meetings. So we're going to have virtual classrooms, virtual classes, and every Thursday. So I will record all of those videos and I will post them in this tab right here, this link. So you just click on that and you'll see all of our classes posted there. So you don't have to, in case you can't make one, you can always see what we went over. This is your equation and constant list. So I allow you to actually use an equation list and a constant list for your exams, because I don't want you to memorize equations. I don't memorize them. I just know how to use them. So you're able to use those two for your exam. So I would suggest that you actually study with those two lists in front of you. So because there are some things that I want you to memorize, but make sure that you know what you don't need to memorize, right? And I try to there's a lot of stuff there. So I would definitely study with those sheets right next to you. Okay, so remember, this is my Blackboard course shell, so you're going to see things that you are not going to see. So anything that's grayed out, you're not going to see. This is when I give extra credit opportunities, this will become, it will have color and won't be grayed out, and then you'll be able to see it. But anyway, right here is the laboratory requirement statement, which is a fillable PDF. So you don't have to print it or anything like that. You just have to sign it. It's a PDF. You can type your answers and sign it on the computer. So hopefully that's really easy, but that's where you would find it. Okay, so the next tab, the third tab, is where you would find your course syllabus and where you would find the syllabus quiz. This quiz you do have to take by Friday of your first week of class, but there's a link to it, and this is where you would find it. And then, of course, the fourth tab is, information about me, just a little bit about me, my YouTube channel, if you want to keep, go to it and subscribe to it. And of course, my contact information, my email, and, just hours that I'm going to be available if you need any help. And that's pretty much any time. You just have to email me and we have to set up an appointment. Okay, so here are your modules. So we have 8 weeks, almost 8 weeks, not even, but we have 8 weeks, and you're going to have one module per week. Every module is exactly the same. So I'm just going to go over the first module, and then that's it. But every module tells you everything that you need to do, read, watch for that week. Okay. So let's just go to module 1. And then since this is the first one, I have a little introduction. It's very short, but then this is the chapter that we're going to go over. So if you click on the chapter folder, it'll have all of the videos that you're going to need to watch for that chapter. And I will say that for Chem 232, there are a lot of videos that I did post. But they're all really important and they're really easy to watch. I mean, some of them are long, but anyway, they're really, really helpful. So if you need a visual, if you're a visual learner, I think those are really important. But, I want you, and you do need to watch them, but maybe reading does just the same for you as the videos, but you should try them. And I tried to find videos and make videos that are not very long so that you don't get uber bored. But that's where you would find all of that. And then you would have this document here, which is basically the summary, the objectives for the week. So after this week, you should be able to do all of these things and understand all of these objectives. That's what that's there for, to make sure that you know what you need to know. And if you don't know it, then you got to go back and work on it some more. And then you have a to-do list. So what are you reading? You're reading chapter 13. What are you going to watch? You're going to watch all the chapter 13 videos that I have, which this chapter happens to have 12 of them. It's a lot, but they're short. And that's what you got to do. You got to watch them. What do you have to discuss? Well, you have to go get the discussion forums and do the discussion forum for module 1, for week 1. And you have to post a comment or do whatever it is that I ask you to do for that discussion forum. And I also, since it's the first week, I want you to introduce yourself. What else? I want you to review, if you want to. There's PowerPoint slides for every chapter that we go over. Review them, look at them, make sure, if that helps you, there they are. Since it's the first week, you're going to take a syllabus quiz, you're going to take a pre and post assessment, and you're going to take an online quiz. So pretty much the things for the weeks this is the first week again, so it has a little bit more stuff than what you would find in a typical week. But you usually have a discussion forum, a pre and post assessment, and an online quiz. Those are the 3 main things that you got to do every week. So keep that in mind. And they're all due at the same time. They're due on Friday at 7 o'clock Central Time. So I try to keep it the same time so you guys don't get confused. But after your to-do list, then you've got a bunch of links, which is basically all the stuff that I said you had to do. You can just click on one of these links and it'll automatically take you to that thing. So for example, since it's the first week, you got to take the syllabus quiz. Well, click on the syllabus quiz and it takes you immediately to the syllabus quiz and you can begin it. All right, but go back to module 1. And obviously, everything else is here. So if you want to go to the pre and post assessments or the discussion forum or the quiz, and I even made a link for the requirement statement in case you couldn't find it. But if you want to go to the pre and post assessments for week 1, it takes you exactly to the pre and post assessment. So it's pretty convenient, I hope. So anyway, all of the modules for all of the weeks are exactly the same. I will point out that module 4 is when you have your midterm exam. Okay, and it's a little bit different because see, it has a link for a midterm exam. And I do want to talk about well, let's wait a little bit because I am going to go over the syllabus in a bit, but you do have to tell me how you're going to take your midterm and your final by the first Friday of the week, either through ProctorU or Respondus Lockdown Browser. I really urge you to read the syllabus carefully on that because you need to do certain things before you can decide. Well, number one, if you want to do ProctorU, it's just about paying. Do you want to pay the $17 per hour? It's really easy to use. All that happens is someone sits in front of you, they lock your computer, and they proctor you while you take your exam. And Respondus Lockdown Browser is exactly the same thing, except you're not being monitored live by someone, you're being recorded. But for that, you need to download a software. It needs to, some people have really big problems with Respondus Lockdown Browser with RLB. So they just go and use ProctorU because it's a lot easier. But RLB is very easy. It's just some computers, it gives a lot of problems. So that's why you gotta see which one you want to use, and you got to tell me by Friday. Okay, so that is the big difference of the module 4 is that you have this extra thing here, which would be your exam. And obviously the last module has your final exam. Okay, what are the things? This is the tab here for the discussion forums. So if you wanted to go and look at the discussion forums, here are the discussion forums. You have already some discussion forums that I have set up. I might change them, to be honest, because these are from last year. So I might change them. And if I do, I'll do it quickly. But this is where your pre and post assessments, if you look at the left where my mouse is, this is where you would find all your online quizzes. So remember that you have to take a quiz. So this is where all the online quizzes are. So it's on that tab. And then your exams, whenever you are ready to take the exam, that on your midterm or your final, you would click here. Or you can do it from the module. But see how it's all grayed out because you don't see anything there yet. All right, so let's go to the syllabus. I hope that helps you understand sort of where everything is, but you do have more tabs that you could see on your course shell. And those are just it's information, right? So TU contacts, Proctor guidelines, university resources. It's just a wealth of information if you ever have any questions. I will say that obviously you can look at your grades right here in this tab. If you are sending an email to me, please read this because I do have a lot of classes. So it's really hard if you just send me an email and say, oh, I need to know this. Well, a lot of my classes are very similar. So I need to know your name, what class specifically you're in, that'll help me because I can't answer you if you just say, hey, give me this. So please make sure that you include all of the proper information and that you address me properly, please. But that's about it. All right, so let's go to the course syllabus. And actually, I think I have it open. Oh, I thought I had it open. Okay, it's fine. Let's just go here. And again, this is the syllabus for Chem 232, but Chem 231 or any other class is exactly the same pretty much. So I'm not going to go over all of this, just the main things. Obviously, you have all of the information in the first page. It talks about me. I know I'm moving pretty fast, but technology requirements, you do need to read this syllabus. This is your book, right? So your book is important. I know it's very expensive. Look at this price down here. It's very expensive. I get it. But there are options. You have an online version, which is really cheap, and you have older versions, which are cheaper. The online version, I think, is like $15. No joke. And you don't have to get the latest version. I would love for you to get the latest version, but it is $230, so I understand. But I also have, there's a, there's chemistry resources anywhere online. You do need information. You can't just get the information that you need to pass this class from the videos, all right, and from our virtual classes. You do need to read. So I suggest that you get that done. You do need a calculator for this class, and I do not allow you to use a graphing calculator. And you're probably like, well, it's an online class. How is she going to know? For the exam, there are a lot of rules that I make you do, right? And you have to show me on the camera. So you have to show me, one of the things is you have to show me your calculator. You have to show me turning off your phone on the screen. So it's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to, because I will give you a 0, unfortunately, if you don't do it right. So anyway, you do need a scientific calculator. You just cannot have a graphing calculator. All right. So all of this stuff is just, information, information, information. Let's stop here for a second. See how it says online synchronous meetings? That's the virtual classrooms. And for this particular class, it's going to be every Thursday at 2 o'clock. For other classes, it's at other times, Central Time. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be sending out an announcement at the beginning, like probably tomorrow, but sending out an announcement which has a Zoom link. If you've ever used Zoom, that's actually what I'm making this video on right now. So it's a conferencing software, and it's awesome. You can share your screen, and I can actually write on the actual board. So if I wanted if I wanted to write something on the screen, I could show that to you. Let me just see for a second, because there you go. I knew I had it. So here's the same syllabus. But for example, if I wanted to, where were we? We were at the online. If I want to show something, I can write on the screen, because it's just like class. So it's really helpful if you guys show up and ask any questions that you might have. But anyway, I'm going to be sending you a link, and that has a website. You just click on that website. If you've never used Zoom, I would really suggest you come to the orientation meeting. And that's what the announcement is going to talk about. We're going to have an orientation, a Zoom sort of orientation on Wednesday, and then we'll meet on Thursday, for real, for real. All right, so that's that. And then, this is just more information about the class. You can't submit anything late. That's very important, not even a millisecond late. I'm really big about that. So make sure that you turn in and finish everything on time. All right, but this is sort of what is in the class. You have your discussion forums, which we kind of talked about. You have the videos, which you know where they are. You have the pre and post assessment. I will say quickly that I want you guys to take the pre-assessments before you do any specific studying for that particular topic. That's the point, right? Like the point is for you, I want to know what knowledge you have coming in, and then the post-assessment, and those, by the way, the pre-assessments, you can take them as many times as you want, which basically means you can get a perfect score eventually. But I get to see all of the trials, you see, and that's what I really want to see. I want to gauge, well, did she really or he really came in knowing some things, or no, their basic knowledge is kind of and then by the end of it, obviously you guys will learn, through the trial and errors. But then the post-test, hopefully, is, going to be a lot better, because the post-test, you're supposed to take it after you watch the videos, after you study, after you do everything, and you only have 2 trials to do the post-test, right? So, and it's an average of the 2. If you do take 2 times, if you do take it 2 times, then it's going to be an average score of the 2 trials. You don't have to take it 2 times, but if you do, it will be an average. But hopefully those will be a lot better, because now you've got a little bit of background information in you, and you've studied. So that's the whole point. So pre-assessments are only worth like 2 points, but you can take it as many times. So basically, I am expecting everyone to get free 2 points, free 2 points every single pre-assessment. So anyway, quizzes we talked about, those are the online quizzes, and those are obviously at the end of everything. Once you've taken your you watched your videos, you're studying, and you took your post-assessment, because assessments are small, they're short, they're like 5 questions, right? They're like little itty bitties of what you're supposed to know. The quiz is way more encompassing, right? It has a lot more questions, it's more in depth, and you have a lot more time to take it. I give you 75 minutes to take it. So hopefully those will, you'll do really good on. Again, you have 2 trials for those. So it's an average of the 2 of you take both of them. This is where you would see your proctor exam information, okay? This is important. You got to figure out what you want to do. So proctor you really don't have to do anything. You just have to decide, okay, I'm going to pay. And once you do, you've got to make an account with them. It's free. It's very, very user-friendly, very easy, but if you need any extra help, I can help you. And then the other option is your Respondus Lockdown browser. That is free, but you do have to download the software. You can click on this link right here and download it and just follow the steps. I will have a trial exam. What I want you to do is if you're going to use RLB, you need to download the software and actually take a trial exam. And it's not an exam, it's just like, I think I ask you, what's your name or something like that, but it's just to see, because if you get into the exam, then that means that you've gone through the process, and the process being showing me your phone and your area, and it gives you all the instructions that I would give you in a real exam. So it's good because you get to practice. Okay, look, I need to show my ID, I need to show my calculator, I need to show my area, I need to show et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so you need to do that trial exam, and you need to do that by Friday. Note, I have not posted the trial exam yet. I will do that by tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow. So, but anyway, all that, this is how you would just follow the instructions. It is really simple. If it works, this is the way to go because it's free. As a FYI, your exams, you're going to be required to show work. If any of you know me, you know that I'm big on showing work, right? I'm not big on multiple choice exams. You probably won't get any multiple choice exams, questions on your exam. So I'm big on showing work. So that's a problem when you're in an online class, because how do you show your work? You can't type everything. That takes too much time. So what I have you do is you take your exam, you go to Blackboard, you answer the questions, but you answer your questions on a piece of paper, right? So you have to show me your pieces of paper before you start. But anyway, you write your answers on a piece of paper like normal. And then you would submit, because you can't do anything until you submit. So you would submit the exam, and then I give you like 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to scan your pages, right? To scan your answers and email them to me. And you're like, okay, well, how am I going to scan them? Well, you should use this CAM scanner. CAM scanner is a free app. Download it to your phone because it is wonderful. It scans the page, and you can scan batches. Like let's say you have, more than 3 pages, right? Or whatever of work. You can take it takes a picture, and you just go ahead and take the next picture. You go ahead and it makes it all together in one file, which is great. And it's required because I used to have a lot of students just send me 17 emails with 17 different files, and that was just a nightmare. So this does it all in one batch, and it's all legible. That's the main thing about CAM scanner, is that it takes it like I don't know what they call it, but it makes sure that it's legible. And that was a big problem with pictures. Pictures, sometimes people don't send pictures that are legible. So anyway, this is very important. You got to read it because that talks about how you're going to be taking your exams. And then all of this stuff is just information. This is how your class is broken up as far as your grade. I don't do anything in percentages. I just do everything in points. You have 1,000 points to get to. That's your goal. If you do all of these things and they come out perfect, you get 1,000 points. Easy, easy. Obviously, people are not going to get perfect. I wouldn't get perfect, but anyway, so that's how it's broken down. So you can see here that your syllabus quiz is worth something, right? And it should be easy because you have the syllabus right in front of you. So make sure you get those points. Points are the key in this class. You've got to do very well in almost everything, right? Because the final exam is worth 300 and the midterm exam is worth 200. That's 50% of your grade, right? So it is very important that you do well on those exams, but you can get a lot of help from the other things. Okay, I think that's it. And then there's extra stuff, which kind of talks about all the extra things that I have on the course shell in each of the tabs in the modules. You have PowerPoints, you have animations, you have weekly study goals, right? So those are good if you want to know, okay, what do I need to know for this week or for this chapter to make sure that I'm going to get an A for this chapter. That's the stuff that you would look at the weekly study goals. And then this is your course schedule. This is like your Bible, right? I'm not very religious, but anyway, it tells you everything. It tells you exactly the day that we're taking it. The midterm exam, you have to take it that day. So if you're taking it with ProctorU, you got to schedule it for that day. If you're taking with RLB, you just take it. Go to Blackboard and take it. And then that's about it. And then the rest of the stuff, the rest of the pages are just like Tuskegee information. Americans with Disabilities, any ADA, if you got to talk to me about that, please email me. And since we are talking about email, you got to email me with your TU account. I cannot answer you if you have a Gmail or Hotmail or whatever else you have. I can't answer it. It's against FERPA law. So I need to have you guys email me via Tuskegee. So if you see that, if you email me from Hotmail or AOL, I don't think AOL exists anymore, but anyway, Google or whatever, and you don't see me answering you, it's because I can't. So please make sure you communicate via your Tuskegee email. Okay, so this is not yours. Let's go. I think that is it, guys. So I hope this video helped you. And if you have any questions, you can just email me at any time. But the most important thing is just please go through all the tabs. Make sure that you're in a good spot. The only thing I will say about one last thing about online classes is that you need discipline. This is a lot of stuff for 8 weeks. This amount of stuff people usually take 12 weeks to learn. So, I mean, think about it. And like I said in my introduction video, there's no one nagging you. You're not looking at me every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're not in class with me. So you really do need to set aside time every day. And this is a 4-credit class. So all of the classes that I'm teaching this time are a 4-credit class. So this applies to everyone. You're taking a 4-credit class, so you really should study at least 2 hours per credit. Think about that. That's 8 hours that you should focus a week to this class. So that is a lot of work to do on your own. So please set reminders on your phone. Don't forget anything. Don't turn anything late, because you're going to get a 0, and that would really, really, really be bad, because you need all the points that you can get. All right. I really do hope. Let me stop sharing. I really do hope that this video helped you. And again, if you have any questions, just please email me. I try to answer my emails fairly quickly so you guys aren't waiting. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon at the orientation. Bye.